I just finished a show that I have been enjoying every Sunday, The Penguin. The Penguin takes place after the events of the Batman, where we see Oswald, I think it's just Oswald Cobb. Okay, Cobb's a cool last name, I don't care. Picking the pieces of Gotham back up off the ground and rising through the ranks of the criminal underworld, which was amazing. I actually watched the first 2 episodes of this show first, just to kind of give myself a little taste, and then I wasn't planning on doing this, but then I did it anyways. I rewatched The Batman again because I love that movie. Batman's one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. But this show sees Colin Farrell put back on the massive amount of makeup and hairstyling and disappear within the character of the Penguin. Holy cow! It's like The Sopranos for DC Comics. It's just so excellent. Its storytelling is so tight. Every character, you see their motivation, you see their weaknesses, you feel exactly what they're feeling. It's magnificent. I'm going to be going into some spoilers, so just to let you know, but I don't know when those are going to be. I'm just letting you know, blanket statement. But first I want to get to the Penguin, the man himself, the titular character, who is the most despicable man I have ever seen put to screen. That's not true. There's a lot of other... He's a bad man. Penguin's a bad man. I mean, right from the first scene, which I think is one of my favorite scenes in the show, you just see how egotistical and vengeful and furious this Penguin can get, and what he'll do to get what he thinks he deserves. Now, as a Batman fan, I'm a big fan of the theatrical villains. I love the Riddler the most. He's my favorite. I'm okay with Penguin. Penguin's not my favorite. He's kind of the most simple villain. He's just a guy in a top hat and purple whatever, and then you know? So doing a TV show on the Penguin, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then this show tells such an interesting story of how much the Penguin will do and put his loved one through, and how hard he will go after that dream of being the mobster. And boy, does he achieve it. I love how you see how he twists and turns the truth and screws over anyone in his path just to get there. It's magnificent. And also I love where the show ended up being, where I don't know if they're teasing this, I think they are, because now that Penguin has like the whole criminal empire of the city, basically, of Gotham City, he's now the king. Maybe he's going to be Mayor Penguin. I think I'm going to write an article about this, but I love how much this show appreciates the source material of DC Comics versus something like The Joker, where the Joker movies felt very, almost like anti-DC Comics. They didn't even, like, there's so many moments where they could have appreciated or even just like, there didn't have to be Easter eggs, but it could just be like subtle nods. This show had a lot of nods. Elliot Bridge, 2 really, really random supervillains to throw in there that I love have like their live action interpretation in the Batman universe, Magpie and Mr. Bloom. Hello? If you don't know who these are, you don't need to know. Point is, it doesn't matter. It's just really cool that they reference these characters in the first place. Also, we might be setting up the Court of Owls. I don't know. I think that would be a really cool villain for the sequel. I'm a big proponent of, like, let's get Bane in there. I really want to see Bane as the main villain. But that's just talking about the Penguin and Colin Farrell's brilliant performance. Do I need to say any more? But we also have great characters. You have Sofia Falcone, or Sofia Gigante. You have Vic, which from the first episode I was like, he's gonna die! He's gonna die! And then he died! And when he kills Vic, eventually, it makes so much sense because it is so brutal and so heartbreaking as an audience member. But in a weird way, we all saw it coming because the show is so well crafted. It tells you exactly why the Penguin would do something like this. It tells you exactly why Vic would get himself into this situation. It's as satisfying as much as it makes sense. It's brilliant. I just have so much appreciation and love for not only this show, but for the creatives behind the camera, because they've created something that, I mean, I love, but also out of something I love. It's just so, I appreciate it so much. As a fan, as someone who wants to be in the creative space, I adore it. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show. I have a huge appreciation for this show and another show that I talked about, Agatha All Along, where both shows was like, no, they're villains. They're terrible people. We're not hiding that fact. But the Penguin, I mean, nothing against Agatha all along. The Penguin had a lot more room to be like, oh, he's monstrous. He was born a killer. Probably the most horrifying scene, if you know what I'm referring to. Wait, this is a spoiler section. When he kills his brothers. Yeah, I don't know what more I could say. I love the show, and I cannot wait to see the Batman Part 2 and whatever else Matt Reeves has to make. I know it wasn't just him who made the Penguin, but still. Kiki, tell him how I really feel.
5 stars, Angel, 5 stars.
Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll have another video out soon, probably on Monday. Achoo!